So how do you invest in property if you don't have a lot of money? So good morning. I'm sitting here outside in the rain. But I was thinking about this because this is a question we get a lot is, how do I invest if I don't have millions? How am I going to buy a property if I don't have millions? And this is something we work with a lot of our mentorship students with because a lot of our mentor students have a lot of money. They start with millions and it's very easy to then buy and acquire property. But we also have a lot of students that don't, that literally start like I did with about, 3,000 pounds and try to build a portfolio kind of from scratch. So how's that possible? I mean, a property costs maybe 100,000 pounds. Hey, good morning, Monte. Thanks for that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here all early with me. So what do you do if you're in that situation where you have, you're looking at hundreds of 100,000 pound purchase, and you might have 5,000 pounds on your account. Hey, thanks, Monte. What do you do? Well, this is where property gets so exciting. You don't always have to have the money to buy the property. Okay, there are a lot of different tools we can use to go down different routes. So I have students that are raising finance. We teach the 25 sources of capital, because there are literally, outside of the bank, for your deposit, there are literally 25 different sources of capital, only one of them being your own cash. So there's a lot of different ways you can fund a deal that are other sources of capital that you can use and tap into, okay? Other things we teach is different types of strategies. And I wanted to share with you a story that I was told by one of my early mentors about a deal he did, because I had that block. I was like, well, look, I'm here, I want to do it, but I don't have any money. I don't understand. How am I going to do this? How am I going to build my portfolio? What's going on? And so this man, Barry, told this story about how he started his journey and what that kind of meant to him, and how he got around this issue. So Barry is an experienced investor now, but he was starting out there, or he'd done a couple deals, but he was still pretty new. And he'd been able to find a owner of a bed and breakfast, okay? So this man owned a bed and breakfast in Birmingham. And so he went to visit and was asking, so why are you looking to sell? And because, great location, central city, great, should be doing really well. And the man told him, well, look, I've always had on-street parking, and so it's been really easy to fill this. But the council just, made the yellow on whatever that's called, made it yellow. So you're not allowed to park on the street right outside his bed and breakfast, because he was literally, here's his property. Walk, sidewalk, and then the road, and it's like one of the main arteries of the city. So it's so easy. Hey, good morning, Timoteo. So it's so easy for him to, for people to come in and live in his place. But now they couldn't stay there, and the closest parking lot was a 10-minute walk away. Oh, sorry, my cat wanted to say hi too. Selma here. But so, that with that challenge, all of a sudden he can't really run his bed and breakfast because people want to be able to stop right outside the hotel, right? Because they have packing and they have all that. So because of that, he needed to find a different way, and he hadn't been able to solve the question. So he was selling. He wasn't filling up. He was losing money every month to high rent or interest rates and stuff like that. And so Barry came and said, okay, I understand your situation. Well, in your situation, you're not going to get a lot if you try to sell it and you're in a hurry. So I don't think that's a good way of going. He's like, yeah, I know, but I don't know what else I could do. All right, so what could I do? Well, what I could do for you, Barry says, is there is a way where I could cover all your mortgage payments. I could pay off your arrears, your late payments. I'll cover it going forward. And then what I'll do is I'll buy the property from you at the actual market value instead of you having to discount it to me. He said, wow, that sounds amazing. He said, yes, the thing I need to do is we need to discuss the terms here because we have to structure this deal in kind of a unique way, and I got to make sure that everything is lined up. And the man's like, yeah, of course. How do we do this? He said, well, we're going to use a tool called a lease option. The man says, okay. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay you a fee up front so you can cover your arrears, and then I'm going to start paying every month. I'll pay directly to your bank, and I'll cover your monthly payments, and I'll do this for you for a period of 8 years. And then when your mortgage term runs out, because he had 8 years left on his mortgage, I will then buy it at today's market rate. And the guy said, okay, is that legal? Yes, it's legal. It gets you out of this situation, and it kind of solves it. He's like, all right, awesome, that's great. He's like, good. So is it okay if I borrow the keys? I would like to get, like my builder in here and kind of see what we can do. He's like, yeah, sure, all right. And so the guy takes off, and Barry's hanging around. And so Barry had talked to the HMO officer of the council. His idea was to remake this bed and breakfast into an HMO, rent it out by the room, and make massive cash flow. Because a bed and breakfast is kind of already set up for an HMO. It just needs some fixing to do it. So the HMO officer comes by, and he's like, yeah, this looks perfect. It's got this, that. You need to upgrade the fire alarm. You need the fire doors here. You might have to change some of the furniture, but overall, yeah, you're fine. I'll gladly give you a license once you've done these things. He said, oh, that's great. And then the HMO officer says, by the way, I am also the grants officer of the council. Would you like us to give you a interest-free loan, a grant for this, so you can make this conversion faster? Barry's like, yeah, all right, I'll take that. Great. You know what? You'll probably never have to pay it back anyway. It's probably going to transfer into a grant, but we'll start that out. He's like, yeah, all right, sure, you can pay for my refurb. and so now Barry's looking at it's going to cost them, £2,000 to take over the property, and then it's going to cost him another £0 to convert it into an HMO because the council is going to do it for him. So, and he's going to have some legal fees, £1,000. But he's looking at all right, maybe £4,000 so far in total cost. He's like, all right, that's pretty good. Now, of course, he's going to have a monthly cost of running the thing. So he kind of goes well, okay, so it's going to take a little while to convert it. So that will be a cost as well. But so as he's walking, he's kind of walking away, and he's taking that 10-minute walk to his car. And he walks by this homeless shelter. And hey, good morning, Elena. I hope you're doing well. And he walks by this homeless shelter. And he walks in, and it turns out, and he asked them, hey, are you looking for housing? They're, oh my God, yes, we really need housing. It's there's such a need for housing for homeless people here in the council. We need your help. He says, great, I'm about to buy this property there. I'm going to have to convert it. Good morning, Elena. How are you doing? And then I'm going to try to rent it out as an HMO. They're like, look, we'll take it right away. If you can tell us, how long the works will be, we'll be happy to start paying you the rent on day one, and then we'll handle the property for the next 5 years. We'll then give it back to you in the same condition. We'll pay you rent every single month. You won't have to think about it. But he's like, all right, deal. And they're like, yeah, we'll of course pay market rent, so no problem there. We really need housing. He's like, all right, that sounds good. So now look at what Barry has done. He's paying £2,000 for the property to take it over. He's got guaranteed rent from day one, and then the council is paying for the refurb. Is that a good deal? I think it sounds pretty good, right? So everything goes through, the paperwork goes through, everything is working, and then he comes back a couple months later, and he's meeting up with this, the guy who owned it. He's like, hey, how you doing? How does it feel? What are you happy? He's like, oh, Barry, this is so amazing. You really helped me out. Thank you so much. By the way, I have 2 more properties, 2 more bed and breakfasts. Would you like to take them as well? Barry said, yes, I would. So there are different ways. I'm not saying this might be the way you use, but I'm saying this is a way you can build your portfolio faster, okay? You can get more properties in by using lease options. There's also rent-to-rent. There's the 25 sources of capital. There are ways to do it whether you have money or not, okay? And if you do have money, hey, all of these are just catalysts to make you go even faster. So I want to share that with you, kind of a message of hope there. Please share your comments. If you've done deals, how did you do them? How did you finance them? I would love to hear that here below. If you haven't done deals, please share your strategies or questions. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.